Thank you for tuning in. Let's talk. Welcome to the first episode. I'm your host, Elena, real estate broker and CEO of Union Real Estate. On today's episode, I will give you an update of the housing market in the greater Boston area. And today I have a special guest, Martin Yao with CrossCountry, who will be joining us in a few minutes. And then he will be speaking with us about the state of residential real estate lending. Well, let's just jump right into the housing market update. I compiled this slide for you to demonstrate a comparison on how the market is performing while we're navigating through COVID-19 and how this compared to the prior weeks in 2020, prior year, and in the last recession in 2008 with the financial crisis. As you can see, the NAR chief economist, Lawrence Young, has indicated that the home prices has been holding up well despite the pandemic. And then that the home prices are still rising across the country despite the pandemic in the month of March. So let's take a look at how this relates to our local market in the greater Boston area. So starting with the single family, in general, we're experiencing a shortage in inventory. In terms of homes sold, we had 894 homes sold, which it has been an increase of about 18% from prior month, with an average stay of 48 days, which despite the pandemic, as you can see, the homes are selling fast, with an average price of $845,000, which it is an increase from last year, about 3%. As you can see on the chart, I'm evaluating how the market is performing since this year and then through the pandemic when we had the stay-at-home order on the week 3 in March. As you can see, the prices has been remaining upward despite some small dips in week 3 and 4 in the month of April. Diving into the condominium market, last month we saw 740 units with an average stay of 48 days, similarly to the single family market, with an average price of $734,000, which is an increase of about 6% from last year. In the charts, I demonstrate the same thing as the single family. As you can see, the price is remaining somewhat flat with some ups and downs, but in general, looking positively. So I wanted to also compare with how we experience what we experienced in 2008 with the financial crisis and how it is compared right now with the coronavirus. So in terms of number of sold listings, you can see that both in single family and condominiums, the number of homes sold this year compared to 2008 has been more, which is in average is about 20%. In terms of the days on the market, we can see that we're selling much faster in comparison to in 2008, which in average you can see is about 60%. And in terms in pricing, we can see that the properties have appreciated at least between 50 to 60%, which demonstrate that the real estate housing market in the greater Boston area remains very strong and is a good market to invest or purchase your home. So I also wanted to share with you with the latest update that what we're going through with COVID-19 and how selling are happening right now, which right now virtual selling has become a reality and more of the most interaction with the clients are happening virtually. And then that consists on virtual consultations, virtual home tours, and if needed, when having a visit to the property, we are asking the parties that are entering the property to sign a COVID-19 acknowledgement and release form prior to the private viewing, and limiting on the number of people who are attending the property and the home inspection. In terms of closing, we are also moving into the online format and then having a remote notarization. And for the smoke detector and carbon monoxide, the buyers and seller are signing this addendum in which the smoke detector certificate has been transferred the responsibility to the buyers. In the appraisal process, there has been a temporary flexibility where the appraisals has been done through the stereo only or a desktop appraisal. Some appraisal requires still to enter the property, which are requiring the seller to open all doors and turn on the lights before they enter a home, and then following the CDC protocol, which are wearing the mask, glove, and shoe covers. Well, this is what I have for you today. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a message in your Facebook notes. And right now, I would like to invite Martin, our today guest speaker.
Welcome. Hello, Elena. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook audience. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation, Elena. And congratulations for your program, Let's Talk, because you're bringing great information to the Facebook audience. And it's my honor to be one of your first guests. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much, Martin, for accepting to be part of the premiere show, or Let's Talk. So in a way to introduce you to the audience, Martin Yao is the sales manager and senior loan officer at CrossCountry Mortgage. And as you can see, he has a vast number of experience in residential real estate lending industry, real estate investing in the US and also in Latin America. And also he has experience in investing and renovating property in the New England area. And on top of that, he's also the founder and president of the MAR Solution LLC, a real estate investment and financial consulting firm. So with that, I wanted to start the conversation with you, Martin. Today, I would like for you to talk to us about how are things in the residential lending now that we're going through COVID-19.
First of all, Elena, thank you very much for that introduction. In a great question that you're asking. Yes, things have changed significantly. Well, we say that things have changed in this COVID-19 situation, especially in the lending industry. Starting with some of the guidelines and conditions that some of the lenders are requesting. They are becoming a little more strict. I give you some examples. For example, before lenders, like in the government loan programs, lenders used to require only a low 500 credit score to qualify clients in refinances and also in purchases of homes. But now a lot of lenders are putting their own guidelines and overlays, and they are considering a higher credit score to qualify these clients, which would be like, for example, 620 and above. So that's a significant change that we have seen in guidelines. Another thing that they're requiring are compensating factors. They are requiring more reserves. There were some products in some financial products or lending products in the residential industry that didn't require reserves. Now they are imposing 3 months of monthly payments or even 6 months. So that also is a significant change in guidelines. Then we are talking about also higher down payment requirements, especially in the jumbo loan arena. Before we could help clients with financing properties, just requiring 5 to 10% down payment. Now, a lot of the lenders have changed their guidelines and have increased that down payment requirement all the way to 20%. So that's another significant change. In finally, some of the programs that were available in the market, like the non-QM or non-qualifying mortgages, when people didn't have all the conditions to comply with a conventional loan, we could help them out with, like for example, replacing pay stubs for bank statements, and using, for example, non-employment or employment status of visas that were not allowed from the conventional side. We could help them out to get a loan or in finance a property. Now this kind of programs have basically stayed in standby, and even though we in CrossCountry Mortgage do have a couple of avenues, we don't have all the avenues that we used to have before. So those are some of the things that have changed, but there are also positive, changes in the market too. Like, for example, what you mentioned before, appraisal waivers, or the fact that we could use exterior appraisals and not full appraisals, where the appraiser had to go inside the property. And also a remote and online notary and closings that can be done through our closing attorneys, here in the state of Massachusetts.
All right, well, thank you. So can you tell us about what opportunity do you see now in the near future?
Great question, Elena. Following up with better and more positive news. I do see two great opportunities. Number one is that rates are still historically low and probably would stay like that, or even drop a little further, which gives opportunities to those people who haven't refinanced yet to be able to refinance and save money with a lower interest rate in a lower monthly payment, or even if they want to cash out money to consolidate debts or to invest in another property. So that's one of the major advantages and opportunities we're seeing in the market, especially too for people who are looking or planning to purchase properties. This is a great opportunity to now finance a purchase of a property with a lower cost. So that's opportunity number one. Opportunity number two is the fact that also values of properties are projected to go down, especially in the spring and summer market. So if someone is looking into buying, this is the right time to do it. Because once we are over this COVID-19 situation, the projections in the forecast is that everything is going up. So if you're willing to buy and start purchasing property, this is the moment, I would say. And one last opportunity, it would be, one additional opportunity would be technology. People are getting accustomed to technology because of social distance to do everything remotely, and that's making our industry more efficient and effective, meaning that we are taking less time to process a loan, for example.
Right. Which is key, like especially in a multiple offer situation that you just wanna make your offer attractive to the seller.
Yes. And now that you mentioned that, CrossCountry Mortgage is still keeping its processing below 3 weeks. If needed, we can close a loan from start to end in 10 days. So that's very fast. And thanks to technology and to the fact that we are using a lot of remote and online options.
All right, so we are close to the ending time, but I still have one more question. Can you provide us any recommendation on the do's and don'ts for applying a mortgage right now?
Another great question, Elena. Yes, I can give you 3 quick recommendations because I know the time is running out. One is to always enhance good communication with your mortgage or your financial professional. It's key in this kind of situations because things are changing so fast.
Great question.
So that is key. If you did have a pre-approval letter because you were planning to purchase a property and that pre-approval letter was provided before COVID-19, in other words, at the end of February, March, I would advise you to go and have that conversation with your financial professional and see if he can update that that pre-approval letter, because things have changed a lot. And secondly would be the fact that if you are starting on a process of refinancing or purchasing a property and doing the financing for it, please also communicate with your mortgage professional and let them know if you are planning to do any or apply to another mortgage or any credit card or any maybe car loan, because that can affect the success or your approval. So that's also very important. And lastly, for people who are applying the option of forbearance or deferring payments, watch out with that, because even though you hear in the market that doesn't affect necessarily your credit, it depends what you are deferring. Like, I'll give you a quick example. If you're deferring a credit card that is maxed out, then that definitely would affect your credit, because that credit bureaus are going to consider that as basically an overdraft or maxing out a credit line. So that's also important to take into account, especially when you want to finance a property.
Right. Well, this is a lot of great information, Martin. So I see that in our audience, we had a couple more questions. So maybe we can take a minute or two to
Okay.
answer these questions.
If we have
so
time,
Dion Garcia is asking, do you think interest rate will stay low through the end of the year?
Good question. That's the projections that we have in the mortgage and banking sector, in the financial sector, that rates are going to stay historically low. Maybe like drop a little bit far, not so much, but it's going to stay consistently low, because the federal government, the Fed, is intervening in the market. So that's going to inject more liquidity to the system, and will probably keep rates low still. I mean, hopefully until the end of the year.
Okay, that's good news.
Great question.
So Carmen has two questions. Carmen Chong, are you a national lender?
How are you, Carmen? Thank you for attending this this presentation and in Elena's program.
So she is asking, are you a national lender?
I'm a national lender. We are licensed in the 50 states, so I can do financing all around the nation, and I have great programs. And as I mentioned, we thrive on our processing time. It's normally less than 3 weeks.
Oh, that's great. So she also had another question. Can you refinance if you are in forbearance?
Great question. Yes, you can, but the lenders will require you to to remove the forbearance before we go ahead and do it. In other words, you can start the process, but you will be put on hold until you remove that forbearance and put you in, and basically put your payments up to date. Then we can proceed to close your loan and your refinance.
All right, thank you,
Yes,
Martin.
the response is yes.
All right, thanks. And Dylan Nguyen from Denver is also saying hello. Hi, Dylan.
Hello, Dylan.
All right, so we are on the end of our show.
Thank you very much, Elena. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope that you invite me again.
Of course, definitely. I'm sure there's a lot of more topics that we can dive into. So with that, I want to thank you everybody for tuning in today on the premiere show of the Let's Talk. If you have any further question topics that you want to talk about, feel free to contact me. My contact information is here below with my phone number and my direct email address. So stay tuned for our next Let's Talk. Our next featured speaker is Faisa Chaudhry. She's the Executive Director and Attorney of O'Connor Law. And then she will be speaking with us about estate planning, another interesting topic while we navigate through COVID-19. Well, so thank you so much. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you very much, Elena. Congratulations again for Let's Talk.
All right, signing out.